Hey fans, Anthony from HNE here, and today we're going to go over my top 5 Transformers animated series. I will be honest, the top 4 were easy. The 5th, which we will be starting with first, I kept flip-flopping. So number 5 is Cyberverse. I kept switching between this, Prime, and Earthspark. I think Cyberverse wins simply from being a mix of fun, not being as dark as Prime, and not having to deal with human drama. There are legit fun episodes in Cyberverse as in Earthspark. There are also legit deep story episodes in Cyberverse as in Prime, especially near the end. But overall, I feel like I had a better time with Cyberverse because of its light nature and classic characters. I do not want to feel like I have to think about the message the story is trying to relay when it takes place off Earth. Number 4 is animated. First, I like the fact that its story occurs near my home. Not that I had any landmarks that I could necessarily recognize short of the lake, but after coming off of the Unicron trilogy, which got dark, animated was a return to a smaller roster with an ensemble cast that does a great job exploring new origins for characters and setting up comedic elements. I wish it had gotten to its 4th season because it was on its way to exploring deeper Cybertronian lore. Plus, I love the fact that Jazz was going to join the main cast of Autobots. The regular cast of humans, and yes, I have a problem with humans being useless in some of these series, are actually placed on equal footing with the bots. There are even a few human bad guys that actually give the Autobots a run for their money, and this makes them feel useful to the story's progression. Number 3 is Robots in Disguise 2015, or RID 2015. Spinning off from Prime, Robots in Disguise 2015 puts Bumblebee, the near-perpetual kid appeal character for Optimus Prime, into the leader role. Sure, eventually Optimus and other Prime characters flow in and out of the series, but B remained the leader of his team. Plus, the human character's limited showtime did not really impact the overall story in a way that I found undesirable. I have to say, I love me some Will Friedle in my animated series. I mean, who would not want Batman Beyond, Ron Stoppable, and Lion-O as their lead animated character? Let us not forget Constance Zimmer as the voice of Rookie Officer Strongarm and Kyrie Payton as Grimlock. I was not a huge fan of the changed origin of Grimlock, but Kyrie sold me on it. Booyah! Number 2 is Beast Wars. If I remember correctly, Beast Wars was not meant to be a continuation of the original Generation 1 series. I think the Transformers subtitle did not even get added until the 2nd season. Anyway, just like with the ensemble cast of animated, we get a small group of bots fighting each other for the planet. The dynamic between the Autobots, especially Rattrap and Dinobot, made the show endlessly entertaining. The way that the Dinobot story redemption occurs over the course and the integration of the Generation 1 story had me hooked, because prior to Season 2, I was on the fence. Then we get to the discovery of the Ark and the chance for the Decepticons to alter the time stream. The resolution for me was satisfying enough that if they had been no decision to continue with Beast Machines, that would have been totally fine. Now, number 1 is Generation 1, the granddaddy of them all. I was born when disco was still considered music. I was not into G.I. Joe, but I was into Voltron. Now, if you take G.I. Joe and Voltron, then smush them together, you get Transformers. It is probably also why I really like the early seasons of Power Rangers. Anyway, you have the stoic Optimus Prime leading a band of some of the last Autobot survivors from the planet Cybertron to a new home. They have been in a war for control of the planet for millennia. But instead of letting them go, Megatron and the Decepticons just had to make sure that every last Autobot was destroyed. As a result, they crash their ships into each other, then into a strange organic planet where they are placed into stasis for millions of years. Sure, Beast Wars kind of did the same thing, but with the factions on their own ships, but in this case, the bots awaken in Ark and all hell breaks loose. We then see the inner turmoil within the Decepticon ranks, but it quickly turns into a regular comedic showpiece of how dumb Starscream is to challenge Megatron, well into the movie anyway. On the Autobot side, we see them befriend humans and with them learn how to safely traverse the planet and utilize its resources for their benefit. Something that the Decepticons wholly do not care about because they just need the planet's energy and no one is going to tell them what they can and cannot do with it. Environmental lessons aside, the story progression and the main characters change over time. After the movie, we see a new generation take the lead and the regular transition such as the change of leaders and characters, follows the series through its Japanese incarnations. Sure, it was about selling toys to kids. Sure, any educational benefit was purely coincidental. And sure, it was just big robots beating each other up. But until the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hit the scene in 1988, the Transformers were my world. School lunchbox and all. Tell me in the comments your thoughts on this video. Did you like what you saw, and how was your experience with it? Thanks for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe.